Night programme has learned that the head of RBS's investment bank is to step down over the fixing of a key interbank rate. Sources say he's being forced out, even though most of the fixing of LIBOR happened before he assumed his current role. John Hurricane has been with the bank for 17 years and is the highest profile casualty at the bank since it emerged last year that dozens of bankers had willfully manipulated the benchmark rate. The news comes as fines for RBS over the matter are set to be announced, which could total £500 million. Mr Hurricane, who earned £3.5 million for last year's work, will also be stripped of his bonus for 2012 and around £4 million in bonuses due from previous years in order to help pay the fine. Barclays is putting aside another £1 billion to cover the costs of scandals related to the mis-selling of financial products to consumers and small businesses. That means it now faces a total bill of more than £3.4 billion. The Chairman and Chief Executive confirmed to the Parliamentary Banking Commission that some of the money set aside to cover these costs was taken directly from the bonus pool of its staff. Meanwhile, Barclays is struggling to contain the fallout from various other scandals. And last week, the bank's CEO said he was giving up his bonus this year. He said today he believes the bank has greater obligations towards society than just making money.
Banking is a different sort of business to other commercial enterprises. We sit at the heart of the economies where we do business. You can't have vibrant economies without vibrant societies. And without vibrant banking, without a vibrant economy, you can't have vibrant societies. So the obligation upon us in the banking sector is higher than other commercial enterprises, and we have to pay much greater heed to the impact of what we do in the world.
Well, Chris Skinner is a banking analyst and chairman of the Financial Services Club, a UK-based networking group. Hello there, Chris. First of all, let's talk about RBS and what's emerging. It appears that John Hurricane will go tomorrow. That's what sources have told the BBC. Was it inevitable that a high-ranking banker had to go at RBS given the LIBOR fixing scandal?
Yes, I mean, there had to be some fall guy who could be the person you could point at and say, well, he's gone, so we're moving on, and John Hurricane is that guy. As you said in your introduction, though, he wasn't really on board when all the issues took place. He only really took on board his current position in the last few years, having been Chief Financial Officer of ABN AMRO when the bank, ABN AMRO merged with Royal Bank of Scotland in 2008. So he's really just the fall guy.
So given that, can the bank really say that it's putting the scandal behind it?
Well, again, it's issues that took place in the last decade, and there are a small number of people, a small number of traders in RBS and also in the other banks who are to be held accountable and to blame. They will probably be at some point taken to trial. Over here, what's interesting is that they cannot be charged with criminal offences, but the USA is rumouring that they may extradite these individuals and include them in a class action. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few years.
Meanwhile, the chief executive at Barclays is saying there's going to be a culture change at the bank. Do you think we will be seeing a sea change for the banking industry?
Well, there's a sea change taking place already. I mean, we've had 5 years since the crisis began of analysis and paralysis almost to work out what the hell's going on and how to reform the industry for the future. Now all of the banks have new management teams in the UK. All of the chief executives and their direct reports have near enough been replaced. And the culture that's now trying to come into the industry is one that's ethical, has a moral compass, is good for society, as you heard Anthony Jenkins saying, all the things that they weren't in the last decade.
Meanwhile, though, the cost of all these scandals appears to be escalating. We hear that Barclays is setting aside another £1 billion to cover PPI mis-selling. Do you think the cost will continue to go up?
Well, there's the rub. I mean, we are spending a lot of money to pay for the sins of the past. The PPI, Personal Payments Insurance Protection scandal, has cost about £12 billion and is rising all the time. We have another scandal now in swaps mis-selling that's going to be £1.5 billion, maybe much, much more over time as lawsuits come through. We have the LIBOR fines, and all of these are paying for the sins of the past. And what it really means is that the banks will not really be ready to be in good order for a good few years, which is not good for the UK economy.
Okay, Chris Skinner, chair of the Financial Services Club, thanks so much for talking to us. In other news, the founder of Dell has taken the